Started and those that yeah, it's been started. Got it. Okay, we are ready to go. I think Seema, you need to get us to do some rock and roll today. I just came back from the expo and it's so tiring. You all know how tiring
Uh,
it can be.
Even I'm late. Sorry.
No, no, that's fine. I think, yeah. Dr. G also is here. Roshni, hi. I said Dr. G also is here.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I think, Amita,
Yeah.
let's start it. Shall we start?
Okay. Okay, you can start.
You can make me the host, co-host, whatever you want to. Now.
I'm making you the host.
Start, Ma. We're 3 minutes late.
Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to each one of you to our meeting number 58. We are 3 minutes late, but still we managed to pitch on time. Today, 22nd of March, if you all know, is World Water Day. Now, I don't have to really explain or emphasize the need of conserving water. It's extremely important. I'm sure it's most of the time it's our children who actually remind here. At my place, it's my son who also always reminds me to save water. And it's extremely important to save water for the future, for our future generations. And every time we consume water, let's be grateful for that we have water to drink and for use for our personal uses. And every time we waste water, let's remember that 2 billion people are still not having clean and pure water to consume. With this, let's begin our meeting. I shall read out the club mission. I would request each one of you to place your hand on your heart and say it along with me. Our club mission is: we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, with the ground rules, let's all mute our mics when others are speaking. There are 3 taboo topics: sex, religion, and politics. Please refrain from talking about it. And I'm sure all of you know the exit rooms in your houses. We have an applaud button, and every time each speaker speaks, please ensure we applaud each other so that we can motivate each other every time someone speaks. With this, I think I have mentioned all the ground rules. With this, let me hand over the stage to our always vibrant and vivacious president, Toastmaster Amita. Over to you, Toastmaster Amita. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Seema. I was in a rush and my heart is still beating fast. I need just 1 second to settle down. Okay, so hello, everyone, and a very good evening. So after the contest, here we meet again to congratulate each other and relive the moments of pride together this evening. It is so overwhelming to me as a president to witness the potential this club has to rise like a phoenix and make sky the limits. I really wish we help each other. We help each other out to let the spirit of healthy competition thrive in between us and help us unlock the untapped and the unexplored talent in each one of us. I really wish that each one of the showstopper pushes oneself out of the comfort zone, the very purpose of each one of us being here in the Toastmasters. It is a platform where we can guiltlessly and unhesitatingly exploit ourselves. I think maybe I'm talking too tall, but this is what I really feel. Probably because of the excitement also I'm talking, and I hope to rub it off on you also. Okay, so now let me dive into some important announcements. So all ears to it. And before that, let me see if we have any guests to acknowledge their presence. Zoom Master, do we have any guests?
No, except for Ellen, who's doing it.
Except for the Ellen. Okay. So Toastmaster Ellen, let me welcome you and thank you for agreeing to be the timer and helping us out with this meeting. Can I request you to unmute and speak a few words about yourself as to which club you belong to and how old a Toastmaster you are? Toastmaster Ellen.
Hi, good evening. I'm Ellen. I'm just graduate from the university, and my club is Matrix Toastmasters. So I just joined recently, like 6 months back, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's nice. Welcome on board to the Showstoppers.
Thank you.
Okay, so now time for some important talks here. The first point, though you have seen our 4 new members past few meetings, is Utkarsha here?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We haven't really had the time to greet them formally. So friends, let us all put our hands together and give a warm welcome to these 4 people, the 4 new showstoppers, and let us applaud them. Zoom Master, do you want me to share the slide or you have it?
You have it ready or? Just a second. You want me to share the PPT?
Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Yes.
Would you want to start with this, President?
Yeah. Okay, I will start chronologically. So what is Toastmasters? Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. The founder is Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, and it's almost going to be near 100 years that this organization is thriving. So you can understand by this how important it has been, and it is. Now, why Toastmasters? The benefits of Toastmasters, how it can help you in your personal life. It can help you develop your communication with confidence. It can strengthen your leadership skills. It can help you gain unlimited personal and professional growth. It can help you demonstrate how to lead a productive and professional meeting. It can help you build team working skills, which lead to employee retention if you're in the corporate world. And it also helps you to learn from a cost-effective personal growth program, because this Toastmaster offers basically a kind of curriculum. Children have it in school. You have nearly 11 pathways to choose from. And yes, to mention, the newbies will be soon given this knowledge of all the pathways, and the formal induction will be done for them very soon. Also, this Toastmasters helps you to give a constructive feedback to build morale and confidence. So these are the aspects of why one should join Toastmasters. And believe me, it is not a waste of time. It is a self-investment time. Just 2 hours in 15 days, you are spending whole and soul only for your own development. That's it. Now, in this, we have nearly 11 pathways. So these 11 pathways are something which you can choose from. How to choose all this knowledge will be given to you in one of the sessions very soon. So you can see here, it's like dynamic pathway, effective coaching, engaging humor, so on, persuasive influence, strategic relationships, and all these have projects under them. There are nearly 5 levels which you have to complete, and you get a badge after you finish your pathway. We are present online also on Facebook, and we have our own website. We meet alternate Tuesdays between 6:30 to 8:30 Dubai timing. Now, coming to the newbies, which we have, though they have been with us past few meetings, they have formally joined the Showstoppers, and let's all welcome them with a big applause. Toastmaster Alvin Tankachan, welcome. Toastmaster Dinesh Bhatia, welcome. Toastmaster Kazi Omeis, welcome. And Toastmaster Utkarsha Srivastava, welcome. So happy, so glad to have you amongst us. And yes, now I would also like to make use of this virtual stage to congratulate the participants and the winners of the area level contest, which was held on 20th of March, this Sunday. So first of all, Toastmaster Sri Devi, the first place winner for the humorous speech contest. Nothing like it. She has bagged the 3rd place in the evaluation speech contest as well. I must say, Toastmaster Sri Devi, you have shown the true signs of your resolution, steadiness, and determination. Keep up the spirit and enjoy this journey. Heartiest congratulations on behalf of all Showstoppers. May achievement always kiss you. And now coming to Toastmaster Dinesh. Yes, he is a totally newbie who jumped in, pitched in at the last moment, and that is so commendable. Congratulations to you on your incredible success for bagging the 2nd place in the table topics contest. For me, table topics is like climbing the Everest. So I am in awe of the people who attempt it lovingly and willingly. So Toastmaster Dinesh, thanks for pitching in at a very short notice. And I always knew you could do it. And I'm incredibly proud of you. Not the least to mention the daredevil Toastmaster Alvin and Toastmaster Nishchita, who represented our club, the Showstoppers, at the area level as participants, and are nothing less than the winners. The amazing accomplishment of winning at the club level is just one step on your journey. And thank you for participating, and I hope it was fun and that you have developed some great ideas that will be used in the future. Now, please switch on your videos and unmute, and let us all hear the thunderous applause for all these stars.
Are we forgetting to compliment the president? Now, humility is mandatory in some places, but not everywhere. Hearty congratulations to our president also, and she is an
Thank you.
evaluation grandmaster. She's
No,
just
no, 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 no.
all the time going to the
Master.
back seat.
Too
So,
tall.
congratulations, President Amita.
Thank you. All thanks to the club mentor who we have forever, always present. She's a Michelangelo for harnessing and sculpting all of us. Thank you, DTO Manita. So let us all keep an eye to win the division level 2. So work towards it. And now the next announcement. As we complete half a year of the Toastmasters by the end of this month, the year goes from September to March, and then again from March to September, the next 6 months now. So each member, new and old, should start thinking and aspiring to take up the officer role at our club and be in the executive committee. At present, these members, as you see on the slide, form the executive committee. So we have the president, we have the VPE, that is the vice president education, and the VPM is vice president membership, then the secretary, the treasurer, officer. So these are the posts which the details of which will be given and imparted to you very soon. The planning is in the pipeline. And I'm sure after the meeting, once you are aware of the different roles, you can nominate yourselves and contest for the elections in the future. And yes, I would like to mention that as we plan our meeting, I would really request each one of you to come forward and take next meeting. It really helps each one of us. Otherwise, it becomes like a burden. So instead of enjoying the journey, it becomes a burden and a load. So if every one of us shoulder the responsibilities equally, and for example, I assign a task to you to get a role player or be a timer or be a word master of the day. So these are the different roles which you can opt for willingly. If not, I can assign these roles to you. And this is the way we can plan for the next meeting. And within the first 8 days, our planning is done. For the next 8 days, we are preparing and just publishing it everywhere to get some more and more members to as guests to come and witness our club meetings. So this is the way we can work all hand in hand and make it a great success with each meeting. Now, coming to next point. As we approach this month end, it is the time for renewals of membership. For the old members and few of the new members have to commit for 1 more month. I will get in touch with you with the details. And okay, the last point I would like to propose here is let us all meet physically. I'm really looking forward to meet you all and have a physical meeting. The charm and the enthusiasm, the environment is different when we all meet physically. So now, since a weekday will be difficult for everyone, I can propose that we can meet on a weekend morning. So finish off the meeting as soon as possible, and then we have the whole day to spend with our family. I very well understand that we are committed to our families, and we need the rest of the weekend for the family. So this can be done. And our next scheduled meeting is supposed to be on the 5th of April. Okay, so the weekend which follows it is the 9th of April. And if you all agree, we can have more discussion or a show of thumbs up readily to have a hybrid meeting on this morning. So just quickly, if I can have a show of hands, whoever can commit now itself that yes, 9th of April morning, that is the Saturday morning, we can meet. Timing can be decided. Thank you, everyone. So I think, yes, we can plan for that. Morning 7 to 9 or 7:30 to 9:30, something, just 2 hours or probably 1.5 hours if it's too much. And we can plan that, okay? So think about it and we can communicate on WhatsApp also. Now, these were the points that I wanted to communicate, and probably I have eaten into the time of the next segment, but these were important to say. Okay, now, thank you for all ears and listening it out. I declare the meeting number 58 open. Let us move forward to hear the minutes of previous meeting from our earnest and guiltless Secretary Toastmaster Sri Devi. Over to you, Toastmaster Sri Devi.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. This is the Secretary of the Club, Toastmaster Sri Devi, reading the minutes of meeting number 56. The theme of the day was New English, conducted on Tuesday, 8th February. The meeting began sharp at 6:30 p.m. Our very enthusiastic Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Seema, called the meeting to order, reading out the club mission and the online meeting etiquettes. The baton was then handed over to the President, Toastmaster Amita, who in her presidential address welcomed our newest member, Toastmaster Alvin, to the club. The virtual stage was then taken over by TMOD, Toastmaster David, who introduced the theme of the day, New English. With his exuberant presentation, he took us through the new vocabulary used among today's youth. Then came the word of the day by Toastmaster Dinesh. The word was enervate, which means to make someone feel weak or tired. This was followed by the prepared speeches by Toastmaster Nishita, who attempted her Level 1 Project 2 titled Vastu Shastra People Belief. Toastmaster Deepansh, who attempted his Level 1 Project 2 titled Career Planning, and Toastmaster Sham, who attempted his Level 3 Project 1 Make Connections Through Networking. Then came the timer's report by Toastmaster Sarvesh, followed by voting. The virtual stage was then handed over to the table topic master, Toastmaster Roshni. This was followed by the timer's report and voting. Then came the interactive educational session on speech construction by DTM Singaraju. The baton was then handed over to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Kimji, for conducting the evaluation. Our evaluators, Toastmaster Seema, Toastmaster Sridevi, and Toastmaster Amita, evaluated the speeches and motivated our speakers. Following this was a timer's report and voting. Then the general evaluator gave his report. The meeting came to an end with TMOD closing and presidential closing. The meeting ended on time at 8:30 p.m. The club contests were conducted on 22nd of February and 8th of March. We had our proud representations in table topics, evaluation, and humorous speech contests at the area level. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Amita?
You can take over TMOD as a TMOD.
You need to hand over the stage to me.
Okay. So now I hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day. She is our club mentor and my mentor. She has been a mentor to so many people, the vibrant, dynamic DTM Anita. Over to you.
Yep. Okay. One very important thing, even before we begin the meeting, as per with respect to the theme, is that in Toastmasters when we do the physical meetings, we should not forget that you cannot leave the dais empty. Okay, it's a promise that we make to the Toastmasters stage, saying that this stage is always going to be embellished with some speaker, some role player who's going to, give more prominence to the stage. So the idea of handing over is not because one needs to formally be, invited onto the stage. It's more like you are leaving, but you're not leaving the stage empty. So please note that whenever you guys are when anybody, any of you, when you finish, you complete your role, whichever role that is, try to formally hand it over to the next person in succession in the agenda. So always have your agenda in place to know who's coming in next. And majorly, most of the time, you hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day once the Toastmaster has come in. Now, the Toastmaster of the day needs to know that she or he has to hand it over back to whoever is next in succession. Could be the president herself or himself, or it could be, calling in the next role player. So this is how we do. We actually shake hands. Now gone are those days when we shook hands and formally invited, and then there were styles of handshaking and all that we used to do. So anyways, this is just to make a point because we kind of are getting overwhelmed by virtual meetings and kind of forgetting things. Okay, today I'm actually taking the luxury of sitting down and conducting this role. But ideally, what we do is speakers and Toastmaster of the day are supposed to set the pace, and so we stand and we make our point. So today, yes, please excuse me, I am sitting and doing this. Nevertheless, we'll put our minds to work. All right, I know
Madam Toastmaster Anita, may I just request the Zoom master to spotlight you instead of Madam Sri Devi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now coming to today's theme. How many of you know what is today's theme? Raise your hands. Okay. Utkarsha, what is the theme today?
It is related to what and if, how they are used in sentences.
Right, absolutely. It's not about using it in sentences. How many of you all think that it's about English? Ellen, you think it's about English? Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting that there's another new perspective that's added to this. But no, today we're not discussing English. What we're going to talk about is our inner box, the box from where a lot of thoughts come out, which tend to not let us proceed further. Now, this is related to, let me begin with a small episode which started in my life, which happened in my life, and after which I started to actually discuss more about this. Now I won't take much of your time. Ellen, what I want you to do is time me at 3, 4 and 5 from now. 3 green, 4 amber and 5 red, and I should stop at 5. Okay. Now, this is somewhere in 1998 when I had gone on a project to a place called Killarney in Ireland. We had to be picked up from the Cork International Airport. It was a 1-hour drive, and being pretty cold during the period time of November. The glass panes of the car. The car was also a very good car, a vintage car, Rolls Royce, in which the glasses were all put down. Glasses were all put up. The window panes were all closed, and the thermal part of it, the heater inside, was switched on. And it so happened that me and 3 of my colleagues and David, who was the driver and who was going to take us around, all of us were there. Now I was sandwiched between 2 tuskers. I wouldn't use the real names, but yes, Ram and Raj, 2 tuskers, and I was there in the center. Now what happened is, I thought, okay, I have my CD man. Those days it was a CD man, you can put the CD in. I had my CD man on, and I thought I could just enjoy nature, Rahman's music, so on so forth, everything set, good climate and all. But it so happened that after 5 minutes or 10 minutes of beginning of our journey, I started to smell something really stale, something like stinking fish. I looked around, what's happening, where is the smell coming from, something which I could not stand. Then I looked around and I saw that this guy sitting next to me, my colleague and my good friend, very good friend of mine, Raj, had opened his shoes. Okay, I used this as a part of my speech also. He had opened his shoes and this goddamn shoes was stinking. He wanted to give his toes some relief, and I had, like, done. I was done. Like, what? I mean, now what? And that guy had gone off to sleep. Like, snoring also, because we had a very long journey, very, very long journey. So he just slept off and he's snoring, and I'm like, now what? Now what? Nobody else had any problem with the stink, but me being very, very, sensitive to these kind of odors, I just didn't know what next. And at that time, the entire 1 hour journey or whatever was spent in a dilemma as to, should I wake this guy up and tell him to put his shoes back, or should I, of course, I we kind of exaggerate, can I just throw it out, kind of a thing. The worst thing is you can't put the windows down, because you're driving at a speed of 180. One second thing is, it's cold outside, there's no way you can put the windows down. So I was like booked for the next 45 minutes. Now, this is only because of these two very, very genuinely harmless looking words called what if. Now, I know that this guy sitting next to me is a very good friend of mine and also happens to be a very sensitive guy. So, the moment if I'm going to tell him that, come on, man, wear your shoes or your shoes are stinking, okay, I know for sure that he will just get into a recluse. Okay, that would be a big time problem. That would be a big time problem. So what I kind of did is I just took it over and suffered it. Now, that is when this what if happened to take birth in my thought. And every time since then, I've understood to be more and more conscious of these two words coming together. Okay, so what, when you ask it individually, is very nice. Ask questions. What is this? What is that? But, and if also is like, if I go there, I mean, if is also a question mark. But when you put in these two together, it always is followed by a subject which is more negative. Okay, what if I fail? What if even when you ask a Toastmaster, are you participating in the contest, they could just say, what if I just fall on my face? What if, the judges really find that I am trying to say a joke but it is not funny? What if? There's so many what ifs that come into your life at every juncture. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to slowly take you all to how you can solve, being asked this question, what if? And I still remember, before I close it, is that when I was traveling with my 4-year-old infant child, the elder one, I had a friend of hers, not 4, 5 years. I had a friend, and I was telling, and she was also traveling. I said, is your medical pack ready for the flight? And her name is Sabina. She said, no, why? I said, what if the child, falls sick on the flight? What if she has a earache or so on and so forth? She said, why do you start your journey by saying what if? Okay, instead just think that everything is going to be all right. It's difficult, but it is easy not to think of the what ifs, not to be always over prepared, because I will end it there. Okay, because I'm going to continue a little later, because that is where it is. I'm going to ask you all, what is that because going to be? Why it is so easy to, why is it so difficult not to stop saying what if? That's what you need to think. I'll come to that. And it is very important for all of us living in this pandemic era to understand that this what if can be a very dangerous and a fatal pause button for anything that you're going to do in your life. Okay, so with that, we'll proceed to today's session. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ellen. I would appreciate if you don't share the screen and rather use a manual timing color. Toastmaster Ellen, if you can do something like that, that would be great. Virtual background is a boon if you could use it, because speeches.
Sorry, Tio Modi, Anita. Sorry for interrupting you. Instead of I'm doing share screening, I'll just write down, and at the end of every speech, as a report, I'll tell it. Is that fine?
No, it isn't fine, because the speakers have to know what timing, their speech timings are at.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we will definitely need the color cards.
Okay,
So
done.
if you need
No
help,
worries.
yes, David.
No worries.
Toastmaster Ellen, one suggestion I can suggest if you don't have the virtual backgrounds is if you have any green, yellow, or red item when the other speaker is speaking, you can be on the side and just show it at like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You can show a green. 6 minutes you can show a yellow, or at 7 minutes you can show a red, rather than putting a virtual background if you don't have it. That is one suggestion you can do.
And
Yeah, any
other
items from your house?
Yes, and the other suggestion is that when you use these 3 items, continue holding them till you swap the item. You just don't show it and then put it down. Okay, that also disturbs the speaker. You'll have to continue holding the green item till the yellow one comes in, and continue holding the yellow till the red one comes in, and continue holding the red till the person stops.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Kimji and Toastmaster David, for those inputs. Ellen, I hope you are ready. I mean, you do have some time now. We'll move on. Today we have some very genuinely interested role players who've come forward. We have the timing being conducted by Toastmaster Ellen. We have Word Master. I'm going to introduce her shortly. We have the Grammarian. Do we have the Grammarian? No, we don't have the Grammarian. We have the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Kimji himself doing it, and he's already started keenly observing every element of our today's meeting. And we have a trivia master instead of a table topics master who's going to handle an impromptu trivia. I think I'm going to. Would you just want to unmute and give a very quick intro to what you're going to do, David, so that they're all aware of it?
All right, guys. So the quickest and basic, most summary thing of a trivia master is, so for the 4 speakers we have today, I'll be taking notes of their key elements, which I think is very interesting in their speeches. And during my segment, I'm going to be asking you the questions. So this is going to be testing your listening skill, and I, as your trivia master, want some right answers. Okay, thumbs up, guys. Everyone give me a thumbs up, please.
Thank you so much, David. Yes, we're going to have an impromptu with the speech content. So that's a lot of input for feedback and input for the speaker, and how much of listening is happening here on those lines. Then we have the evaluators in place, and now it's time for me to call in the word master. We have a word master attempting it, a maiden word master, Toastmaster Roshni. You all know that she is a doctor by profession, but a dancer by passion. So let's welcome Toastmaster Roshni to do her maiden wordmaster role. Toastmaster Roshni, the virtual stage is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So I'm your wordmaster for today. I'll just share my screen. This is being visible to everyone.
I can't hear you, Roshni.
Hello.
Yeah, just continue talking.
So I'll be sharing the screen now. So good evening, everyone. So the word of the day today is invigorate. It's pronounced as invigorate. What does it mean? It means to give vigor to, fill with life and energy to someone or something. This word can be used for things that really give you a significant physical, emotional, and mental peace. Its history, this word was first used in the 1640s, but now its use has kind of reduced. It is based on the root word vigor, which comes from a Latin term meaning force or energy. It is a verb. It can also be used as a noun. As a noun, it can be used by the term words invigoration or invigorator. It can be used as an adjective, as invigorating or invigorative, or an adverb as invigoratingly or invigorative. Some of its synonyms and antonyms. The synonyms are energize, enliven, vitalize, regenerate, refresh. The antonyms are damn, dull, deaden, tire, discourage. So this word So I'll give you some of the examples where this word can be used. The president of the Showstoppers Club invigorates their members to have an invigorating meeting at the club. A walk in the cold breeze invigorates me and makes me feel alive. By changing my morning routine, I was reinvigorated to begin my day. So now I would like any volunteers if you could use this word in your sentences. Make up a sentence using this word. Toastmaster.
Yeah. The TMOD has come up with an invigorating theme for the day.
Okay, I think we are not having much time. Thanks, Roshni. Can you just conclude it and then hand it over to me?
Okay. So I will keep a tally on the number of times this word has been used in today's meeting, and also the person who uses the word the most will be appreciated today. Thank you. I hand over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshni. But what if we don't use these words? What if we don't use this word in our sentences? Are you going to punish us? Just kidding, just kidding. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, let's move on. We are running a little behind, so yep. The next section of the next segment in today's meeting is the prepared speeches segment, where we have project speeches, and today it's a marathon. Good evening, Tina. Today is a marathon, and we have 4 icebreaker speeches coming up. So the evaluation will be read only once, so we save some time there. So let's begin with the first icebreaker speech. Request everyone to stand up, give a standing ovation to each and every first time speaker today. Though there are 4, let's do it for each one, hopefully. We begin with Toastmaster Alvin. I don't have the titles in place, but nevertheless, the speaker can, if you can just tell me the title, Toastmaster Alvin, or
I would word it as journey.
I'm sorry?
Journey.
Journey. Okay. We have his evaluator Toastmaster Seema, who will read the objectives now. Toastmaster Seema, over to you.
Good evening once again. Thank you, Toastmaster Anita. Icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Alvin. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Speech length would be 4 to 6 minutes, 4 minutes green, 5 minutes amber, and 6 minutes red, and 30 seconds of grace. Over to you, Toastmaster. Sorry, all the best, Toastmaster Alvin. Over to you, TMOD Anita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema. Alvin, would you be standing and giving the speech, or ideally?
Can I sit, because I have slides in, so and I don't have my clicker with me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Timer, are you ready? I'm going to put. I need your video to be on to spotlight. Toastmaster Ellen, are you ready? I'm going to put a spotlight.
I'm ready.
Yes. Toastmaster Alvin, can you see the timer?
Yes.
Toastmaster Ellen, can you just show the timing card? At least one timing card. Well, I think. Do you have any?
No, this only I can do because I can't find any other option.
Does anybody have anything to share today in their speeches? 4 speakers. All the 4 speakers. Anyone has any objection or have to share the screen? Please let us know right away. If that is not the case, who is this?
This is Alvin here. I would be sharing my screen.
Yeah, so then he cannot. Amita, can you take over the timing, please? Toastmaster Ellen, I think you can stop sharing the screen. So I will have to put Amita on the spotlight as a timer. Right. Okay. Toastmaster Alvin, Journey, Toastmaster Alvin. The stage is yours.
Thank you, everyone. Is the screen visible? I'm sorry, is my screen visible?
It just started to share, but we're not able to see the picture in it. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Just need to put this part of it. So a few things about me. I think two things that defines me as a person. One is my family and my life, and the other being my work. So when I was asked for the icebreaker session, I thought, why not use the first couple of slides, which I did when I presented a panel interview for a leadership role within my organization. And I thought I'd use that as a start, because that again is me as a person. So I thought I'd start off with that. So a quick introduction about me. I'm married and blessed with two kids. Rebecca is 13 and Andrew is 8 now. I'm born and raised in Bangalore in India. And I've done my engineering, and I'm a civil engineer in terms of my education. But then I moved on to working in IT after the first couple of years, having worked in the construction industry. I moved to Dubai in the year 2006. And one thing about me, irrespective of how I look, is that I'm an avid sports lover, and I was a very active sports person during my school and college days, and having represented even at the university levels. Then moving on with regards to my work, I come with a diverse work experience. I tell you that because I've had the opportunity to work in different regions. I've worked and I've handled businesses in India. I've managed something in the Middle East for a long time, and also had the opportunity to work in Africa for a significantly long time in my career. So I've managed about 23 countries in my years of work that I had. One thing about having worked in different regions is that you get to understand different cultures. You get to work with people from different cultures, and that is an extremely enriching experience. And for most of the youngsters today, one thing that I would always advise is to always look at opportunities of getting opportunities to work in different regions. Then another thing the core thing that defines me as a person are my core values. It's the integrity, the commitment that I bring to the table with regards to my task and how I deliver to my commitments. It's a passion that I have, and most of all, what has got me here till today has been my never quit attitude that I've had, and I'm thankful for that. I speak close to 5 languages. And that's primarily because of the place I was born. I was born and raised in, which is Bangalore, which gives the opportunity to pick up different languages and learn different languages. Moving on, I just quickly need to speak of one particular experience, and also give a perspective. The first picture that you see is the third mainland bridge. The third mainland bridge is in Lagos in Nigeria. It connects Victoria Island, which is the place where most of the people or the well-to-do live, to the mainland. The third mainland bridge is one of the longest bridges in Africa. Okay. Now I'll speak to you about one of the experiences, and I'll ask most of you this question. Not that I'm looking for an answer, but how many of you have had a dream where you're falling off from a building and suddenly your leg moves? Right? Have any of you had these dreams? For me, this happened in broad daylight, with me being wide awake, and not with me being asleep. I was traveling with during my work, and what happened is, on this third mainland bridge, whenever there's a dignitary and there's a convoy, there's an opportunity to stay right behind at that high speed which they travel, right? And on that particular day, with the driver that I was traveling with, and he was clipping at a good speed, we were following the dignitaries. I mean, we were using that opportunity to be on equal speed on the road, which is a fairly busy bridge to travel on. So I see in a few minutes on one of the convoys, one of the armed guards, the head comes out, and then the AK-47 comes out, and then he says something. And this, for me, was the first time I've had a gun pointed at me. And let me tell you, I didn't need to have a dream to have my leg shake at that moment, right? So that for me was one experience which I'll never forget in my life. The next is a picture from Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, where, and this picture most of the time reminds me that I can slow down and take life a little bit easy. On the day when I was rushing and trying to get work done and trying to get different things worked out, I saw this person on the trunk of a tree, fast asleep, right? And that gives you a picture that it's not necessary that you need to be at the same pace all the days of your life, right? So this for me has been, it's a reminder of that. This is life for me. These are my parents. They were central government employees. They settled in Bangalore. That's my brother with his family, and that's my sister with her family. Surprisingly, all of us are 90, and my parents, my brother, and my sister, they all are settled in Bangalore in India. And this is my journey. That's the picture that my first picture that you see is a picture that I took just before leaving to Dubai, the month before I left to Dubai, right? A year and a half, close to 2 years later is when I got married, and that's Betsy with me in the picture. And then those are the two family pictures right below, where we were blessed with Rebecca in 2009 and with Andrew in 2014. Now, I'll just quickly conclude with the last picture, and I call it determination and happiness. That's us when we got married. And that's us today. Between that, I call it determination because Betsy had the determination to shed off those extra kilos of weight which she gained with our two kids. But that's me with happiness of having the whole family around, right? This more or less defines me to the extent. The other thing is today, when we are out at the airport, when we are trying to get into a hotel, or visiting thing, and we're checking in, one thing that they ask me is that your daughter as well? Is that your elder daughter? Right? And that's something that Betsy enjoys each time listening. And that I call is determination because after two kids, after putting on weight, she's moved on. I'll leave the last slide over here saying that mine is a journey of blessing. In everything that we have had, in our hardships, with a humble beginning, with the hardships, and where we have gone. While putting these slides, also what I realize is I'm blessed, and I can only count the number of blessings that I have got each day, right? So with this, I conclude my icebreaker speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we just have a standing ovation? Okay, guys, we're actually running very, very behind. 20 minutes. I think we need to catch up very fast. Of course, we can't do much with the speeches, but in between, I think we need to sacrifice some chunks. Okay, now we move on to the next speaker. Next speaker on board is Toastmaster Utkarsha. And Toastmaster Utkarsha, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And we have her evaluator is Toastmaster Sridevi. Toastmaster Sridevi, I hope you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we won't be reading the objectives. We'll just move on now. Toastmaster Utkarsha, can I just get the title of your speech?
A piece of me.
A piece of me. Okay. Toastmaster Utkarsha, a piece of me. A piece of me, Toastmaster Utkarsha. Can you see the timer, dear?
No. The screen is black.
Okay. I'm sure she'll manage. Amita, you can manage, right? Amita, you can manage the timing, right? Or is it Toastmaster Amita?
My
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
am I
manage the
there now?
timing. Yes, yes, you are there.
Yes, I am managing the timing. Okay.
Sorry, dears. I mean, today there's a lot of disturbances. Toastmaster Utkasha, your stage is yours.
I was guided to add a pinch of humor in my speech. Here is a disclaimer. If my icebreaker doesn't hit your funny bones, I shall not be held liable. Because I'm best at laughing than making people laugh. Or that's what my friends say. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. I assume that by now this name and face have become a bit familiar to you. So today, allow me to give my background check. I am Utkasha Srivastava, resident of Delhi NCR. Science student till class 12th, dreamt of flying a Boeing, ended up suing one. Well, not literally. I'm an advocate by profession. I studied BLLB honors with specialization in energy laws from Dehradun. Ah, those 5 years of law school, those were the best years of my life. After graduation, I've been working with few organizations as independent legal researcher. I've worked on projects related to Himalayan ecology, pollution, business and human rights in garment industry, human rights of trade migrants, etc. During the second wave of COVID-19, I, along with my friends and colleagues, started COVID Legal Support Network, wherein we dealt with cases related to domestic violence, medical fraud, cyberbullying, etc. Curious person by nature, I tend to delve into anything and everything that piques my mind. Therefore, you can find my writings on varied topics ranging from international relations, contemporary legal issues, to some pop cultural trends published in national dailies. Currently, I am pursuing LLM with specialization in alternative dispute resolution. Woo, bit of a serious environment, huh? Let me take you through my alter ego, if that's the right choice of word. Advocate by profession, artist by passion. Stage has been my classroom, then four walls room. I have represented my alma maters at various national and international levels. Theatre has been my forte, which invigorates me. From Shakespeare's Hamlet and Othello to Mahabharat's Karn and Munshi Premchand's characters, parts of these characters live within me. Apart from theatre, I've been active participant in recitation extempore, or rather you name it and you'll find me there. Lawn tennis has been my sport, and let me make this clear that Rafal is the goat. I also learned abacus. But wait, stop your imagination right there, as mathematics and I are not the best friends. Currently, I'm taking lessons on bass guitar from my younger sister, and I don't like her being bossy during those sessions. It is said that to know a person more, one must delve into their environment. I am a product of joint family of 13 people. Yes, a joint family. My late grandfather was a retired superintendent archaeologist who excavated many famous sites. Because of him, history runs in my blood. Yeah, I know that history is a boring subject, but not for me. My mother is a teacher, my father is a banker, and my sister is a psychology student. And that's the another reason for me not liking my sister as she reads my mind. Because of my father's transferable job, I have spent my childhood hopping between Delhi and Chennai. I wouldn't say I am a polyglot, but there was a time when I was bit fluent in Tamil. Traveling is my another hobby. Excluding few parts of central India, I have been to all corners of Indian map. Recently, I traveled solo to Dubai for paper presentation and to meet a dear friend. If I have would known all of you, I would have definitely met you in person. Ask my friends and you'll get to know my nicknames. Panda is one of the famous one because both of us are animals, cute like a button and almost have similar traits. Yes, I am also vegetarian and bamboo isn't my food. Spying on me, you can see me drooling and grooving on Hrithik Roshan's songs, being third copy of Arijit Singh, playing Xbox, and indulging myself into DC and Marvel comics. Yes, becoming Flash, Marvel's character, was also my dream. My parents are my idols. My dramatics and art teachers played major role in shaping who I am today. Recently, a dear friend of mine gifted me book My Life in Full by Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo, and she has become my current role model. Before summing up, I have few questions. Is it too late to be a part of Harry Potter fandom? Second, I am a jack of all trades or master of none. And third, to Toastmaster David, is that a foosball table or a wallpaper behind your screen? Thank you for lending me your ears. I rest my case, your ladyship and your lordship.
Can you just give her a standing ovation, please? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsha. The day is actually turning out to be more and more invigorating in its exuberance, looks like. Now let's move on to the next speaker. The third speaker for the evening is Toastmaster Kazi, right? Just a second, yeah. We have Toastmaster Kazi. Toastmaster Kazi, let me just, yeah. And his evaluator is Toastmaster Dipansh. Just give me a second. Toastmaster Kazi, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. There's a small echo coming in.
Okay.
Can you just say a few words? Okay, what is the title of your speech?
Practice is needed to go ahead.
To go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Practice needed to go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the first part of the.
Yeah, practice is needed to go ahead.
Okay. Toastmaster Kazi, our next speaker. Toastmaster Kazi, practice to go ahead. Practice to go ahead, Toastmaster Kazi. The virtual stage is yours.
Excellence is not an art, it's the habit of practice, said by Aristotle. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and new Toastmasters. 18 September 1987 was the last day I slept in my mother's womb. I was the first child of my parents. I was born with a round, flat Chinese nose, and my eyes were fitted in a Chinese-like socket. People used to call me Chinese baby, though I do not look like Chinese now. I was born in a lower middle class family. My father's name is Muhammad Naeem. He was librarian in school. And my mother is a homemaker. Her name is Hurmatun Nisa. We have got 5 siblings. I'm an eldest of all. And we are all married and settled in our lives. My wife's name is Asiya Iram, and we have got 2 kids. A daughter named Manal, who is 5 years old, and a son named Fahman, who is 2.5 years old. Currently, my parents are here with me on visit for a month. Now, I did my schooling in a small town named Bhatkal in Karnataka. During my school days, I was ranked student. I was good in studies, and I used to take part in different competitions. I used to win prizes. I was like a hero in my own little world. But I always felt practice is needed to go ahead. When I moved from small town to a big city called Bengaluru for my engineering, I saw people and students from all across the country resides there. And when I saw them speaking, when I saw their confidence, when I saw their speaking ability, I felt I'm so weak in terms of studies, in terms of confidence, in terms of speaking to my fellow classmates, in terms of speaking in a group. And I felt practice is needed to go ahead. I was looking for a platform where I can talk fearlessly. And as today's themes, what if questions crop up in my mind? What if I fail? What if I do not deliver the intended message? But then I spent 6 years in Bangalore and I did not join anywhere. I did not do anything to improve myself. Then I have landed here in UAE in November 2011. And again, I come across people from all across the globe with different language, different region, different religion, with different profession. And again, I felt I have to improve my communication skills. I have to improve my presentation skills. And I was looking again for a platform where I can improve my presentation skills and communication skill. Then I found, after 10 years, I found a wonderful platform wherein people from different walks of life with different profession come together with a similar goal. And that is called Toastmasters Club. So finally, I have been listening to Toastmasters videos, but now the time had come that I have joined Toastmasters Club. So what's next? Now I have joined. What should I do now? I have attended one session of Toastmaster, which was hybrid meeting, District 105 region. And I was given a chance. I was the only guest that time. And I was given a chance to speak on a table topic. So I had nothing to lose. That was the first time for me. And I spoke for less than a minute. I stopped my talk before light turns green. Then I have attended one more session. Actually, in fact, I have participated one more session, that is table topic contest. And I fell flat on my face. And I realized practice is needed to go ahead. Then after joining Toastmaster, I was assigned TM Sridevi as my mentor, and she's really helpful. She is always there to help me and assist me. Thank you, TM Sridevi. And I will bother you again, and I will, please bear with me for some time. Then actually I'm shy and I don't talk much. You know, there is a saying that we have got one mouth and two ears, and we should talk and listen in that proportion. But since practice is needed, I have to talk and talk and talk, and I have to attend all Toastmasters session so that I can become an effective, confident speaker and develop my leadership skills. So I hope you all support me, and with your evaluation, with your feedback, be it negative or positive, I will take it graciously. And I hope I will become a confident and effective speaker. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kazi.
Thank you.
Congratulations on completing your first speech. Now we move on to the next speaker. It's a marathon, so we have to be running, rushing. Our next icebreaker is going to be Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh, let me just put the spotlight. Toastmaster Dinesh, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Toastmaster Dinesh will be evaluated by Toastmaster Tina. Since the objectives is the same, we're not going to repeat it. So we move on. Toastmaster Dinesh, what is the topic, title of your speech?
Ray of light.
Ray of light.
That's right.
Okay, fine. Toastmaster Dinesh, ray of light, Toastmaster Dinesh. The virtual stage is yours.
The Lord of the day that brings light to you. My dear friends, that is the Sanskrit definition of my name, Dinesh. It actually comes from the root word of Dina and Isa, where Dina means day and Isa means Lord. So the Lord of the day, the sun. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm going to be putting the spotlight on myself and sharing a few insights about myself. Let's start with childhood. I was born in a place called Bahrain, the Pearl of the Gulf, and I was extremely, extremely naughty growing up. It's not one of those naughtiness. I used to push the limits because I was very curious and a big, big risk taker. Let me share an example for you. I wondered as a kid as to why do birds fly and why can't humans fly? And I tried to experiment doing that. I only landed up falling from a third floor balcony right onto the floor and breaking all my bones. That was an extremely hard lesson to learn, but I also learned that the higher you are, the harder you fall. Another example for you. I wondered if a lift could stop if you open the doors. So going back quite a few years, you had the smaller lifts. And in my building, I tried to open it while it was, and I got stuck for 6 hours and developed my claustrophobia there. So as a child, I was extremely, extremely naughty. And I think my parents had it till here for me. Talking about my parents, I was the only child of my parents. So yes, I know what you're thinking. Only child means a spoiled brat. I really don't understand why people assume that every only child is spoiled. But in my case, it's absolutely true. I was given anything that I wanted, and I was given tremendous amount of love. I was also given a very responsible upbringing. Everything that went wrong in the house, I was responsible. I wasn't like my other fellow speakers on the icebreaker speakers that have siblings. I had no siblings to turn and put the blame onto. So hence, I was responsible. But having said that, I managed to learn to juggle my responsibilities and always stay on the good side for my parents. Moving from there, I also want to let you guys know that I was a son of an ex-teacher, and I went to the same school where my mother used to teach. So you can just imagine the pressure on a guy like me. All right, mom used to say, "You're going to behave well, and you're going to be a top ranker." Every time, I mean, a guy who broke his bones a few years ago, completely, I still didn't learn my lesson. So every time I was naughty, my mom used to know before I got home, and she used to stand there with a stick. But one thing that my mom used to do a lot as an ex-teacher was compare me. Look at that boy, he's the first ranker. Look at how many marks she got. And lack of a better word, nagged me through it. But that, my friends, helped me work harder to the point that I actually landed up doing my graduation in the New York University and passed out with a Delta Mu Delta, which is a higher level there. I learned how to take a negative and turn it into a positive. But for my fellow Toastmasters who are not married as yet, David and a few others that I'm talking to, Dipanshu, if I'm not mistaken, the nagging doesn't stop when you finish school. You just graduate from a mother to a wife who will compare you to everybody else and say, look what a better husband he is. Talking about marriage, I'm married to a lovely lady called Salome, and her family comes from Goa. So you can just imagine how the society was when a Hindu Brahmin boy goes and decides to marry a Roman Catholic girl. They just took the whole blame and said, oh, she just did black magic. She lured him towards them. The poor lady took all the blame. But we went through all those challenges, through all the parental guilt, and today we got 3 lovely children, Naomi, Siobhan, and Ethan. Siobhan and Ethan are twins. So let me give you a bit of another insight that I learned. Never ever conceived during the Dubai Shopping Festival. We got buy one, get one free. So I think the God was in the shopping mode. Moving forward from there, work-wise, I worked for one of the topmost airlines in the world. I met somebody on my flight in, and they offered me a job, and I started looking for something and then looked up to the global network. Let me talk to you guys about my love for numbers. I love numbers and I've always been good at maths. I know some of you never really liked maths, but my lowest marks were 99 out of 100 throughout the whole thing. But the reason I talk about numbers because I look at patterns. Like today's date, if you look at it, it's 22/3/22. It's read the same way, front and back. Few other dates, if you look at my daughter, she's born on 9/11. For many people, 9/11 is a negative sign because something happened in the US. For me, it was a matter of joy. And my twins are born on 1/11/11. First twin born at 1 o'clock, second one born at 1:01. So, I mean, numbers is something that I look at and I have a lot of fun with. I'll talk to you about some of my personal peeves. I really dislike it that when people tend to generalize things. Oh, he's hard-headed because he's Taurian. Oh, look at that. He can't do this or she can't do that because she's a boy or a girl. He's behaving that way because he comes from that religion and that community. These things really piss me off, for a lack of better words. And I try my level best to always strive and correct and communicate so that we can make this world a better place. One thing that I can always improve on is procrastination. It's been one of my peeves that I could never really sort out. I'll give you an example. Toastmaster Amita asked me last week if I would do my icebreaker. I said yes. Totally forgot about it. This afternoon, I read the agenda. I realized I was speaking. So my friend, this is my impromptu prepped speech for today. Before I go, if there's anything that I want to leave a message with is this, that all of us go through a lot of challenges. In my case, it was adoption, parental pressure, parental guilt, responsibilities, everything else. But one always, and I think I turned out well. One, all of us have to go through challenges, but we need to find that one ray of light that allows us to move forward and move away from a blame game. Oh, my life would have been like this. What if my life was like this? It would have been like that. You know, move away from the negative mentality and focus on the ray of light, because through facing the ray of light, you will rise like a phoenix, like we were told this morning, and rise up to the sun. Thank you very much. That ends my speech. Back over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh. Let me just remove the spotlights. Can we have the timer's report, please?
We are going too overboard. Toastmaster Alvin has taken 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Toastmaster Kasha has taken 5 minutes, 6 seconds. And Toastmaster Kazi has taken 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Toastmaster Dinesh has taken full 8 minutes.
Okay, so President, please decide.
I think let us go for voting. Yeah. Or
okay.
I don't know.
I think these are inexcusable timings, I think.
Okay, let's go for the voting this time.
Okay.
For everyone. Yep.
Fine. The polls will be on in some time. Let's move on now. We're going to take a very quick break so that the evaluators can compile their evaluation notes. So we'll just give you Trivia Master David 5 minutes to take up your trivia. We don't have seriously any time. Okay. So Toastmaster David, what if I give you 5 minutes? How are you going to handle your trivia? Your time starts now.
Unmute. Okay. Let's see how the trivia master. Okay, someone needs to time it. Let's see how we can go. Now, trivia mastery is quite fun. It's interesting. I realize it's a wonderful job to have. Sometimes it's even better than table topics, I would assume, because it's fun. We get to pinpoint and see who listened, who didn't listen, and I get to judge as well. Now, I want to ask you guys some questions. Who's the best speaker? Okay, wow. All right. Now I want to ask you guys the basic summary of this. I want to ask you guys questions from the speech, and please, to be a nice person like I am, I'm going to pick and choose whoever the option. It's volunteering. Kind of doesn't work nowadays. We rather pick and choose. In Toastmaster Alvin's speech, what were the two things that describe him? Like, what are his two most important things? Does anyone know?
David, can we just have it as an open session? Just let them unwind and talk about it. I mean,
all right, come on.
Really
everyone unmute yourselves and please drop the answer.
Life was one of them.
One mark. What's the other one?
Family?
Correct. So Toastmaster Dinesh gets 1 point. Now, this is the one thing you guys have to answer. What made Toastmaster Alvin shake, nearly fear for his life?
Gunpoint, encounter at gunpoint.
Toastmaster Kasha gets it. But I'll give a bonus point to anyone who guesses the model.
AK-47.
Okay, Toastmaster Dinesh got it. And second last question about Toastmaster Alvin. What university did he graduate from? Come on, guys, come on. Someone has to pick.
University from Bangalore.
University from Bangalore? Come on, I need a specific answer. I'm not that nice. Come on. Anyone? Toastmaster Tina, Dibansh, Miss Devi. Come on, guys. What's the answer? Okay, just a small clue. It was close to what Toastmaster Utkasha said. It was really close.
Bangalore University.
There you go. It's literally that. Bangalore University. Come on. Okay. And all right. So I have only 5 minutes on this segment. So let's go to Toastmaster Utkasha. Now, this is a real challenge because you had a lot of points for me to make a trivia on. So what was the airline she wanted to sue? Come on. Toastmaster Alvin gets a point. Who is her greatest of all time? GOAT. The big form is greatest of all time. Who did she mention as her GOAT? Huh?
Tennis player Rafael.
Toastmaster Kazi gets the point. She doesn't like her sister because of what profession?
She reads a mind.
Psychologist.
Okay, I get you. I'll give 3 points. Toastmaster Dinesh, Toastmaster Tina, and Toastmaster Roshni get a point. And what superhero is one of her dreams? There was one superhero, guys. Come on. I have 5 minutes. I need to run to 2 more speakers. Come on, what superhero? Okay, if no one's getting that, there was a famous movie with animals learning martial arts. Is her spirit animal, I guess. What is the animal? There's a martial arts movie. Come on, guys, with animals. There you go. Toastmaster Roshni gets the answer. So we are having a pretty intense. You guys are all very much good listeners. Now, Toastmaster Kazi, what was his nickname when he was born? What was it? This was
Chinese something.
Chinese. Miss Meeta, I'm done. Wait. What was his first Toastmaster memory? What session was it?
Table topics.
At District 105 meeting.
Hybrid meeting.
Hybrid meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give Miss Devi and Miss Tina that because they actually full formed it. And yeah, that's Toastmaster Kazi. Now, Toastmaster Dinesh, you can't answer your own speech, please. How did Toastmaster Dinesh break his bones?
Jumping from the 3rd floor.
By falling from the building.
Jumping from the 3rd floor is the correct answer. I still don't know why. And he developed his claustrophobia through?
Getting stuck in an elevator.
Getting stuck in the lift.
Okay, bonus point. Why did he get stuck in a lift?
Because he tried to imitate a superhero and push it open and try to get in.
Dinesh, I also got stuck in a lift, but it was not for that reason. I was just like, I was trying to pushed all the buttons together in one shot, thinking I'll be fine.
Okay, time up. Though it is very interesting and does invigorate our minds. I think we need to move on. Now, are the evaluators ready with their evaluation? Yes. Okay, so we move on now. We have to call in the evaluators. So we begin with the first evaluator, not before we thank Toastmaster David for that impromptu trivia compiling. It was beautiful and I think very funny, kind of created some laughter apart from the speeches. Thank you so much, Toastmaster David. Yes, so we have our first evaluator for the day. Is it Toastmaster Seema? Toastmaster Seema will be evaluating Toastmaster Alvin. So what I will do is I'll just put you all on the spotlight. Yeah, Toastmaster Seema, you can go ahead. Your time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Before I start, can I see the timer? Can spotlight the timer as well? Okay, thank you. And the timer as well.
Can you see her?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone, once again. Pictures speak greater than words. Toastmaster Alvin, yes, you proved it right today. And your speech, when you delivered it through a picture representation, it had a great impact on me. I like the way how you started your speech and you divided your speech into two major aspects of your life, your work and your family. The way in which you transited from your personal life to the core values, to your life experience, and back to your personal life. It was very smooth. It was very interesting, and it definitely kept me glued to your speech. It was invigorating to see the family pictures, so joyful, so blessed. The way in which you shared your life experiences, life-threatening experiences, and what you learned from them, and all the messages that you have shared with your experiences, that when you worked in different regions, the new message that you have given to the youngsters, it was very interesting and it was very thoughtful. I like the way how you in a such a small nutshell, your entire life from your workplace to your family, all areas of your life was covered in a nutshell, and you made it very interesting, and you kept me glued throughout the speech. Now, I don't have many recommendations to give you. It was your icebreaker speech. It was extremely interesting, and I definitely liked it. The only thing is, I know you did overshoot a little bit of your time, and of course, it was so interesting that we did not really miss on to anything. It did probably it was just it was more interesting. It was so interesting that we actually never felt that it was 7 minutes and 40 seconds. But next time probably you could actually watch on to your time. And another recommendation is, I think you missed on to, it is always good in Toastmasters to, when you begin your speech, somewhere in between, to greet the audience. So some things that I think you missed on to it. And also, if you are sharing a PowerPoint presentation, probably before your speech or before the meeting starts, it's always good to do a run so that you don't waste on the time. So with this, to summarize, excellent speech, kept me captivating. And with your determination and a never give up attitude, I'm really looking forward to listening to you more. And all the best to you, and welcome to Toastmasters. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alvin. Over to you, TM Modi Anita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema. Now let's invite the next evaluator onto the stage. We have Toastmaster Sridevi all set to evaluate Toastmaster Utkarsha's speech. Toastmaster Sridevi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see Amita, the timer?
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. You can go ahead.
It's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years, says Abraham Lincoln. Listening to Toastmaster Utkarsha's speech today, I truly felt that she has led a purposeful life and hence added life to her years. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and future Toastmasters. When you said you are good at laughing and not best at making others laugh, I felt we had something in common. By beginning with the disclaimer, you grabbed the attention of the audience immediately. Let me congratulate you for embarking the journey of Toastmasters with your invigorative icebreaker speech. Your eye contact was spot on. You kept looking at the camera and hence connected well with the audience. Today, I heard a well-structured speech with a captivating opening, a detailed body, and a very energetic closing. When you describe the journey of your life, I moved with you from one place to another, and that I feel is the mark of a great speaker. As recommendations, I would suggest that you bring in more vocal variety in your speech by bringing different characters and also giving them different voices. Moreover, as a second point of improvement, gestures were missing in your speech. Body movements and gestures make the speech more attractive and captivating. You could have moved from the left side of the screen, then to middle, and then to the right, representing the different time zones in your life. As a summation, bring in more vocal variety and gestures. Keep up your confidence, keep up your eye contact, audience awareness, keep up your personal stories, as I could very well relate to it and was moved by your personal stories. Nurture and strike back. Over to you, T.M. Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sridevi. We now move on to the next evaluator. We have Toastmaster Kazi being evaluated by Toastmaster Dipansh. Toastmaster Dipansh, are you ready? Yeah. Toastmaster Dipansh, can you see the timer? Okay, I'm not able to hear you. Is it? Can you just say yes? No, you're not audible. Maybe you can remove your earphones and then talk. No, can't hear you.
You'll have to go change the audio settings in the Zoom. Select the speaker or the mic.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dipansh, time starts now. Your time for evaluation starts now. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Kazi on giving his first icebreaker speech. Congratulations to you. And it was a very nice speech, and the way you portrayed your story as to how you had started your life from a lower middle class and how you came to what you are today. You're living in Dubai with your own family independently. That's a very nice and great journey. So what I liked about your speech was there was a clarity, there was a good sequence, and it was pretty well structured as to how you explained your background and where you're now. Okay, there was a kind of vocal clarity also in your speech, and however, there are a few things that you still need to work on. For example, when you started your speech, you could have given a nice quotation or something of that sort to make your speech more interactive with the audience. Secondly, you could have used hand gestures and improved your and maybe given a better eye contact to with the audience, so that it looks like you're interacting with the audience. What you need to do ahead is you need to practice on the few points which I've given you. But other than that, yes, it was a very nice speech, and best of luck to for your future speeches and the journey in Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipansh. We now move on to the next evaluator. 1 second. Yeah. The next evaluator is Toastmaster Tina, and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Dinesh's speech. Toastmaster Tina, are you ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. 1 second. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see Amita.
Fantastic. Toastmaster Tina, your time starts now.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Dinesh. Life is a canvas and we are just mere artists painting on it. And Toastmaster Dinesh, the canvas that you presented to us was an invigorating one. I think the highlights, the brightest colors that I saw in your canvas is number one, how you chronologically presented your life to us. You started with your birth, you went on to how your childhood was, you went on to how you went to education in New York, and then you got married, the trials and tribulations you had then, the birth of your children, and how you are right now, and what kind of inspiration that you can provide to your audience. You closed it and tied it up with a wonderful ribbon. And I think that was one of the greatest highlights or the brightest colors that I saw in your canvas. The second highlight that I saw is your humor. I mean, I just loved it, how you said, where being married doesn't make a difference because you just turn from one nagging mother to a nagging wife. And I think that really resounds true for many of us. Of course, I will be probably hitting myself, but yes, it's true. But anyways, I think that is also a major highlight. And I think that is a very plus point in you because you are able to bring humor, and humor is the only way one can actually connect with our audience. So right from the beginning to the end, you had captivated us with each and every word that you presented to us. Of course, any canvas, the bright colors were there. There were a few gray areas, and I would like to present a few suggestions so that you can make those gray areas more brighter and make your canvas even more projected, more beautiful to us. What I felt is you were rushing to your speech. Probably you were trying to finish it and round it up as soon as possible. So you missed on having a little bit of pauses. Like, for example, when you told the story of how you wanted to emulate a bird and you wanted to fall down and, you ended up crashing your bones. I felt that if you had said that, you know what happened? I tried jumping down from the building and my bones were crushed. If you had said that, that would have given a more of a dramatic effect to your story and just resounded much better with your listeners. You had a closed hands during your speeches. I feel closed hands means you're a more closed expression. Try to keep your hands open so that you can be open with your gesturing when you're telling the stories and explaining your anecdotes and so forth. Like, for example, when you were showing your story of the humor story of your mother and your wife, you can say, nagging one mother to a nagging wife. So that also gives a much more visual treat to your listeners. So to summarize, I think you're a confident and invigorating speaker. You just need to add in a little bit of pauses and try to improve on your gestures. And I think you are on the right path. All the best to you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tina. With that, we come to the end of the evaluation segment, and we've actually caught up with that lagging behind train. I mean, this is amazing. Thanks to our trivia master who did a rapid fire trivia segment. So we are there on time now. I wouldn't want to take too much of waste time here. Thanks, David. Yeah, but then nevertheless, I cannot leave you all hanging before I hand it over to the next segment, which is the GE. So the question that I've asked. Oh yeah, the timers report before we proceed. Yes, timer Amita, can we have the timers report?
Toastmaster Seema has taken 2 minutes 37 seconds. Toastmaster Sridevi has taken 2 minutes 40 seconds. Toastmaster Deepansh has taken 1 minute 50 seconds. And Toastmaster Tina has taken 3 minutes, 14 seconds.
So ideally, Deepansh is not qualified, right?
Yes.
But are we going ahead? Today is like okay day for
Let go
everyone.
session. Yeah, it's okay.
Let go, yeah. Okay, so you're not going to hold on to anything. So we're just going and launching the polls. Okay, guys. Now, I told you all that it's very difficult to give up on what if, right? So, why is it difficult to give up on what if? Can anybody just mention here? Why is it difficult to just keep thinking, what if this happens? What if I don't, I'm not able to live up to somebody's expectations? What if the husband I chose does not live up to my expectation? Or what if my children don't study to whatever expectation I've thought about? What if I don't look good in this dress, which I bought spending 1,000 bucks? So why is it that we kind of have so? Why is it so difficult to get rid of what ifs in day to day life? As in, yeah, Sridevi, would you want to
Probably we
answer
are just
that?
programmed to think like that. So we need to break that pattern.
Yeah, we
So
need to
every
break the
time to
pattern.
break the pattern is again challenging.
How when you say programmed, like are you born with that what ifs?
Not what
Like
ifs.
look at Dinesh,
We
how he
are
jumped.
brought up in an environment with lot of what ifs and ifs and lot of
Okay,
expectations.
I'll note that. I'll note that down. I still have something to add to it. Not before I listen to Sridevi. Sridevi.
I feel that each one of us want to be that perfectionist, like a perfect mother, a perfect wife, perfect employee, and
So where is the problem? Where is the problem?
that urge to perfection is bringing in this what if fear in all of us.
Yeah. So where is the problem? Where is the urge arising from? Yeah, Dinesh.
Uh, the expectations of society.
I think
No.
I think we're driven by fear at times, the fear of the unknown or the fear of things. So
Where is that fear arising from?
I think it arises from the way we are brought up, our experiences in life, our concern for the people that we love. And I think
Still. I'm looking for one answer. Where is
Fear of
it
failing.
originating?
The fear arises from your own
Fear
mind.
of failing.
Alvin. Yes. Kazi, you just said something which the others have told as well. Yeah, fear of failing. Yes, but where is that fear arising? Alvin, can you just say that once again?
The fear arises from your own mind, which is a blockade for you to move further.
Absolutely. You are the cause of this pandemic. Only you can annihilate it. Only you can remove it. You can wipe it out. Okay, so there are two things, one easy method, one tough method. Yes, thanks, Amita. The easy method is to, stop overthinking majorly, and the main thing is just divert. Like you're getting into a plane and you're like, what if I throw up? What if it's going to burn? What if that? The best thing is to just divert yourself. That is the easiest method out. Like before a contest, what if I'm going to fail? What if this? So try to divert by listening to something, doing something else. But this is very, very challenging, though we call it the easy method out. The challenging method is because you don't do it. You don't practice this. That is the reason I'm calling this what I'm going to say as a challenging method. But if you start practicing it, life is going to be very easy. And that is anybody? Anybody? Remember, whenever you say something negative, after what if there's a negative part, whenever that negative element comes in, okay, you're actually very happily inviting it to happen in your place. So, whenever you're going to, people will say, like, let's say, Tina is going in for a contest. And Tina, everybody is like, Tina, you sure shot going to be a winner. You are so good. You are, your body, your expressions are good. Your body gestures are good. But Tina within herself, okay, is always thinking, let's say, I don't know, yeah, today I'm an off track. I'm feeling a little disturbed. So what's happening there? You are tuning your brain to attract something in spite of being capable, in spite of having the right aptitude. Okay, you're not having the right attitude to get on there and win it. So a lot of times you see surprise results happening only because you've created it yourself. So please, whenever you're trying to attract these negative thoughts into your mind, understand it's going to happen. That's the only thing. It's going to happen. What when I'm giving a debate session here, or I'm participating in a contest and my children are going to rake up something out there? It's going to happen, slated. So please understand, whenever you utter, you stop yourself and say, everything is going to be fine. That's it. Just that's it. You have to say this. There's no other way out. There's much more to it, but this is the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. Just don't attract negative things into your life by repeatedly saying it in your mind. So, what if I now over exceed the timing? So, I'm definitely not going to, because I told our general evaluator Toastmaster Kimji that he has a lot of role to play, but nevertheless, because he is also a host, he knows the timing out. So I now hand it over to our very capable fan of Hema Malini and Hindi movies and what not all. This man has got so much of interests to follow and passions to talk about. Let me invite onto the virtual stage Toastmaster Kimji. Toastmaster Kimji, the stage is yours.
Very much, and I really appreciate the fact that you still remember my story about Hema Malini. Of course, she is the dream girl and shall always remain the dream girl. Let's now start the session number 58. The beauty of the session is the start. The start is not about 3 minutes late, but it is about the fact that the Sergeant at Arms, Madam Toastmaster Seema, invigorates into us the desire and the passion of having a session online. She really makes sure that she connects with the day, makes sure that the day is important, and what better day than to save the environment with World Water Day. Of course, the hand on the heart about the club mission, isn't it a beautiful thing? Around vibrancy and virtual visualization is something that she really brings about, not only in herself, but when she describes the next Toastmaster. That is our president of the club, Madam Toastmaster Amita. Her potential to make sure that we rise above, just like the phoenix from the ashes, I think this club will rise even further. And that is no two things about it. I like the way she's expressed that we need to have the unexplored and untapped potential to be spotlight. She is really a person who invigorates into you the sense of being there. Now, the sense of being there has already been brought about in this virtual environment, but she reminds us, why not go into a new type of meetings? Let's meet in person. And those who are not in United Arab Emirates, they can come through with the hybrid. And she takes a confirmation. I just love that part of it. Something which has been beautifully twined into the system is the way the members are invited, the way they are celebrated, the way they are encouraged to feel proud about the fact that they are members of the Showstoppers and individual Showstoppers, shows that there is life beyond just the drab of leadership and commitment. Now, why do I call it drab of leadership and commitment? Because everybody talks about good leadership, communication of the individual. But leadership is more in the fact that every member of whom you are leading must feel and believe in your goal. And this is what the president brings about when she reflected those tiles about what Toastmasters is. I love that as well. Well, I could go on and on, but we have time constraints. So let's move on to the fact that there is an introduction of a guest doing a vital role in the club. It is such a beautiful thing to invite guests to do vital roles in the club's activity. And that really shows that there is an interactive feature about this club. Of course, Ellen had tried her best to use the share screen as a timer slot, but that is not practical. And I think hopefully she will carry that message forward as to how to do it with a virtual background. And there will be people who will help her. But thanks to Madam Toastmaster Ellen for being present as a guest and taking on this particular role. A little bit about from the education part of it also, and to make sure the timer's role comes into play almost immediately when the session starts. So the first role player that is introduced by the Toastmaster of the day is the timer. The timer actually starts playing the role right from the time the session begins with the sergeant at arms, and then introducing the president, and the president talks about the stuff that they want to talk about. And then the timer comes in and explains how the timing is important, because this will help the session to go on. So I would request whoever prepares the agenda, of course it's VP's responsibility, but as we all know, somebody else is carrying out this role for me, which I appreciate and thanks. But the thing needs to be incorporated as far as that is concerned. We will now move to the fact that there is a lot of depth in the theme. The theme invigorates the fact that your mind needs to be approached, because mind over matter is one of the best things one can do. So the what if theme is so beautifully displayed. And though there were time constraints, the Toastmaster of the day managed to bring the meeting back to the time levels. A big round of applause for the Toastmaster of the day to do that particular thing. I think the handover procedure also was explained very well by the Toastmaster of the day. And I think that is so beautifully done to remind the members, especially the new ones, as to what they are supposed to do. Word Master of the day, Madam Toastmaster Roshni. I think the word is amazing, and the way it has been explained, right from this pronunciation to its first usage in the early mid-17th century, to the fact that it is a verb, a noun, an adjective, an adverb, synonyms, antonyms, amazing. Really beautifully made sure that this word could be used. We move on to the fact that the ice-breaking speech, 4 wonderful ice-break speech, and the evaluators have evaluated the speech. So I'm not going to talk about their speeches, but what I'm going to talk about, and with great importance, is the fact that the evaluators have done a wonderful job in evaluating the speeches. I think they have got the sandwich principle approach very beautifully done. The sandwich principle means you have 2 to 3 points which you like the most. And those were very beautifully brought out by Madam Toastmaster Seema, Madam Toastmaster Tina, Toastmaster Dipansh, and where did I miss out? The fourth, that's right, absolutely. Now, the areas of improvement for these speakers, I mean, for these speech evaluators, I would like to say that, because the areas of mentioning their good points, their areas of improvement was absolutely well done. So I'm going to the areas of improvement which you can add. I like the fact, Seema, that you mentioned the positives about Alvin's story, but somewhere the names of the characters in the story were missing. I didn't hear those characters' names, because I love to know people by their names, and I really happy to see if there were names included. So that is a point for Alwyn and Seema to pick up. As far as the speech of, I think the one from Utkarsha, yes. The speech of Utkarsha had a beautiful potpourri of all the things that can come into the person's life. I think it was so beautifully done that I think probably the one whom she's going to marry, and I hope she does, should listen to this speech. And I think everything else will fall in place. The only thing that I would like to say is, while her evaluator said that her structure was opening, body, and conclusion was there, I'm not saying that the opening, body, and conclusion was not there, but the time zones of the opening, body, and the conclusion, I think that if the mentor can do a bit of adjustment on that, then it will give the speech the value that it can take to the next level, where speeches become more and more difficult with assigned characteristics and criteria. Sorry, timekeeper, I need to talk about two more evaluators. One is Dipansh. Dipansh, I think somewhere along the line, your listening skills on the speech needs to have two factors. One is listen with full focus so that you absorb everything about the speech. And the second thing is that when you are talking, construct that thing. You had those 5 minutes while the trivia was going on. Construct that so that you can divide it into till you reach the green area, 80% of your work should be done. You did not reach 80% of your speech. You finished it before the 5 minutes. So maybe you would want to listen and focus on the speech and feel happy that you are learning something about Toastmaster Kazi. Madam Toastmaster Tina, you were fabulous. One of the best evaluations I have seen in a very long time. You really canvassed and painted everything together. Only thing that I did not see in that speech of your speaker, test speaker, was the goals. If the goals had been drawn out of the speaker, the message that he wanted to say would have been the full canvas of the whole situation. So thank you very much to Showstoppers work to be good listeners. And David, you've done a wonderful job as a heart master, as we call it in our club. Trivia is never trivia. If everybody is listening to the session, trivia is never trivia. It is wonderful to have such members. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kimji. I think that was huge insight into today's meeting. I will not delay further. We just have 1 minute. We want to close on dot. So Toastmaster Amita, I hand it over to you to take this further. President.
Hello. Am I dropped? Hello.
You're there.
We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chaitanya. The words you have spoken mean so much to each one of us, and it is really so encouraging. Thank you. And we will surely keep the words of advice to help us improve and overcome the little bit voids we had. Okay, now we have the results of the polls, and I request the Zoom master to share. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Tina Satish. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Utkarsha. Wow, what an achievement on the very first day of her being the showstopper. Congratulations. And so this is a welcome with a bang. Okay, I see we have a guest, Mrs. C. Du. She has joined us all the way from Mauritius. So the most positive aspect of an online session. Let us hear a few words from her about our meeting. Mrs. Sidhu, we would love
good evening.
If you could close the meeting and then.
All right. Okay, I will close the meeting number 58. And I now welcome Mrs. Sidhu to speak a few words about this meeting. She has been with us since the beginning of the meeting till the end. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse me, I cannot put on my camera because I am on my mobile phone. I am very happy to have followed your meeting today. I didn't know about the Showstoppers. I came to know about it just on Facebook. So I am from Mauritius, a member of Port Louis Toastmasters, the oldest Toastmasters club of Mauritius. And today they had a meeting, but unfortunately I missed it because I am currently in isolation because of COVID. And it was really invigorating to be able to still join a meeting despite being away, but I'm very happy to have found you. It was a great learning also for me with speeches, evaluators, a special mention to the general evaluator who did a comprehensive work. And I hope to be able to join in the future, maybe as a role taker, if you allow me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sidhu. Nice to hear those good words from a guest, and so nice to know that you enjoyed the evening with us. Thank you all. Good night to everyone, and see you all soon, hopefully physically and a hybrid meeting, the ones who are joining us from overseas. Thank you all. Good night. So let's call it a day.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.